Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. Now guys, some more stuff is updated in the current press as I am going to officially update you on right now. Wait there a minute. There a minute. And and um, as it did confirm, basically, back in the August window that Jose Mourinho, got Matic in, got Lindelof in who hasn't made a big impact, and he got Romelu Lukaku in, obviously scored his first goal in 7 games in a Manchester United shirt. So, reportedly now it has confirmed basically they're back just before the window currently shut. Man United had approached Celtic, and reportedly Man United had been in discussions with Celtic over Manchester United making a potential move for Moussa Dembele. Reportedly this was just before the window shut, but reportedly it did say in the press a couple of weeks ago that there were quite a few teams eyeing up Moussa Dembele and Kieran Turner, the current left back for Celtic, and it did say both duos could cost up to £50 million, but I don't think Celtic were prepared to, to actually offload Moussa Dembele and Kieran Turner, because it did say Man United were actually interested in Moussa Dembele a couple of weeks ago. It also said Man United had an interest in Kieran Turner as well from Celtic, and Moussa Dembele would be fantastic. I think, he'd complement Lukaku fantastically well, because his Premier League experience is Moussa Dembele. His Premier League experience, one of the brightest prospects, especially in Europe, is Moussa Dembele as well, and he's done absolutely phenomenal for Celtic. I think this is his second season now in the process with Celtic. He's under contract with Celtic till 2020. He scored 32 goals in all competitions last season in his debut season with Celtic, and very, very good, strong, quick, good in the air, good at lead the lines, fantastic. So I think complement likes of Lukaku, Martial and Marcus Rashford with Moussa Dembele. But it had confirmed that Mourinho had showed an interest, and it's just reported basically that Man United had been in talks with Celtic just before the window shut, but I don't think Celtic were actually prepared to do any business because they wasn't risking to lose the player. But as we all know, the player, original thanks to Paris Saint-Germain. He's also a Premier League experience because he used to play for Fulham, did Moussa Dembele. In 2012, I think it was just the age of 16, 17, Moussa Dembele had joined Fulham in 2012, just the age of 16, 17, as I just said, become a regular for the under-18s team, and, in his first season, won the Premier Academy League. He was phenomenal, and then actually broke into the senior team with Fulham in 2013, and then went on to score 19 goals in 64 competitive matches. So he was at Fulham a good 3 or 4 years. Then obviously he moved on. Celtic had then bought him, and he was part of the team, won the domestic treble last season with Celtic. Also scored back-to-back hat-tricks. Scored a hat-trick in his first derby match, against Rangers for Celtic as well. Did Moussa Dembele, but he is a very, very good player. Indeed, but Man United have had a lot of players on their current radar, as we all know, and the same with Kieran Turner. He's another player that Man United have been linked to, because also we know he's a left back. Jose Mourinho's still, in search for quite a few left backs, because it's looking likely that, Luke Shaw's going to go, and then also the board did make it clear that we have to sell now before we can buy. But Kieran Turner also said Tottenham were interested in him, because obviously Danny Rose's future's uncertain with Tottenham as well. And I was saying about Kieran Turner, very, very good indeed. He's been in for the team quite a few years now. He signed for Celtic, at 7 years old. He made his international debut in 2016. He plays for Scotland. But it may be hard to get him because he signed a 6-year deal about 3 weeks or something ago, was it? As well, made his competitive debut in April 2015. During 2015-16, when he became more of a regular. He played in over 30 odd games. In October 2016, suffered an injury. I think some of that ruled him out for a couple of months. But I think then in 2017, he got named captain for Celtic Football Club, did Kieran Turner. But he's another fantastic, bright prospect as well. His tackling instinct, good. His defensive distribution, very, very good. Good at holding onto the ball, and very, very good. But he said the other week that a lot of teams were interested in Moussa Dembele and Kieran Turner. This is he said Man United had been interested in him as well. But this is what were said in the press. as well. So basically, that's what was said in the presser as well. And as I did update you earlier on, but guys, about Antoine Griezmann and Paulo Dybala as well. Reportedly now, Man United are potentially eyeing Griezmann out as a replacement for Mkhitaryan. So it's basically saying, we know Manchester United have got number 7 vacant. We know we'd want to full it, you know, because we wouldn't want to keep it vacant from a commercial point of view. And we haven't had a fantastic number 7 for quite a long time. But obviously we know Griezmann can also operate in the number 10 role, and that's what Man United, I think, are now identifying, you know, to put Griezmann in that number 10 attacking role, basically where Mkhitaryan and Mata can play in the Manchester United team, and put Griezmann there, and, you know, to replace Mkhitaryan. If Griezmann was to come, and then Mkhitaryan's career at Manchester United, you know, could be, you know, over. Basically, there's some reports saying his career, you know, could be under pressure, you know, basically, if Griezmann is to arrive, and he does full Mkhitaryan's number 10 spot, as I said. But this is coming from France. Reportedly now we're eyeing a potential move for Griezmann to replace Henrik Mkhitaryan in that number 10 spot. And what it's saying is we're going to reportedly put Griezmann in the number 10 spot to replace Mkhitaryan, because Mkhitaryan, you know, he's a good player. This season, you know, at the start of the season, he was absolutely phenomenal. You know, he was scoring, you know, he was actually providing assists as well. Got about 5 or 6 assists, was it, Mkhitaryan? But in recent weeks, Mkhitaryan hasn't been the best. He's been poor, and this is why Mourinho recently hasn't been selecting him, you know, especially, you know, due to his poor performances in the last few weeks at least. So basically, could Mkhitaryan's career be over, you know, if Griezmann is to come and full Mkhitaryan's number 10 spot, as I said. But Griezmann did reportedly say early on today in the press that a Manchester United move, there's a possibility of him making a move to Manchester United. So he said the Manchester United move is a possibility, did Griezmann. So he hasn't disregarded it. And he did say one thing also could stop him from making a move. But also we know Barcelona have been heavily linked with Antoine Griezmann. As we all know, Barcelona have been heavily linked with him. Well, he hasn't been their main prize target, but he has been on Barcelona's agenda. And reports were coming out the other week that Griezmann had agreed a deal in principle to join Barcelona. This is what I said in the press the other day. And he also basically he said Manchester City had been in talks as well. Pep Guardiola had been in talks, you know, with Antoine Griezmann. So it said City were interested in him. And what else did it say now? It said City were interested in him as well. City had been in contact with the player. And with Griezmann, he did say he did regret the decision that he did not join Manchester United. And he has confirmed Man U have been in talks as well, because Man United have approached his representatives, as we all know. But yeah, Griezmann would be fantastic for me. He may not... When he comes, he may be put in the number 10 role if he does come instead of the number 7 role, Antoine Griezmann. So that could end Mkhitaryan's career at Manchester United, you know. Especially, but Griezmann this season has made 10 appearances in La Liga, scored 2 goals, as I said. Very, very good player. He's under contract to 2021 or is it 2022. He does have a release clause of around £86 million, don't forget, does Antoine Griezmann. But good at leading the lines, versatility, very, very good. Good attacking player, you know, eye out for goal, fantastic, good at beating opponents, and he's got a lot of experience of being in Spain as Antoine Griezmann. You know, he proven it with Real Sociedad as well, won the league with them, you know, reasonable ranks with them, you know, spent 5 fantastic years with them, won the league with them, you know, scored 52 goals, just over 2 century appearances. He was phenomenal for them. And I think Atletico Madrid had purchased him in 2014, so this is his 4th season of process with Atletico Madrid, as we all know. But we didn't get a deal over the line for Griezmann back in August due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban. Griezmann did estimate 6 out of 10 he was coming, you know, he would be making a move to Old Trafford. But as I said, very good in the Euros, very good for France, and he plays with Paul Pogba for France. So I think, you know, Griezmann would complement the likes of, you know, Martial, Rashford, Lukaku. He'd look good alongside them, you know, would Griezmann. Griezmann would definitely look good, you know, in that number 10 role, you know, sitting where Mkhitaryan plays or Mata, you know. If Griezmann was to come in and play in that number 10 role, he'd look fantastic, you know, just sitting there behind Lukaku. He would look very, very good as well, and, you know, be very, very good to see. But he has strong friendship with Paul Pogba because they both played together for France, so that could be beneficial in our eyes as well. But yeah, we will see what happens. He's our main target. He was our main target in August, as we all know, but we're disappointed that we missed out on him. But I think he's had discussions with Diego Simeone's agreement. This could be his last season with Atletico Madrid. But also, as we know, that mentioned in we all know that mentioned in the press the other day, earlier on today, was about Paul Dembele. Who would you prefer? As I said earlier on in my other video, who would you prefer, Paul Dembele at Manchester United, or would you prefer Antoine Griezmann at Manchester United? Because they're both really good attacking players. Because obviously, Griezmann's versatility is good. Paul Dembele's versatility is good because he can play as attacking mid. You know, he can play as a forward as well. Can Paulo Dybala for Juventus. And reportedly, he has confirmed, he has suggested now he doesn't know where his long-term future lies. There were reports saying about Paul Dybala early on, actually, that this could be, Paul Dybala said this could be his last season, you know, with Juventus. Maybe Juventus may be reluctant and resisted to offload the player because Juventus have lost quite a few good players in the last couple of years. You know, lost Pogba to us. We paid £89 million for him. And he's made a big impact since come to Manchester United. He's probably had a few injuries, but he's been on form apart from that. You know, they also lost Dani Alves and they've lost Benucci and, you know, they even lost Vidal, didn't they? So this is why Juventus may not want to lose Paulo Dybala. Same with Alexandro. That's why they didn't want to lose Alexandro. But Paulo Dybala, you know, may be keen on reuniting with Paul Pogba, you know, after they were fantastic together at Juventus. And Paul Dybala has also admitted he does miss Pogba and he does miss Dani Alves as well, does Paulo Dybala. But we know Paul Dybala signed a new deal with Juventus back in April as well. He signed a new deal with Juventus back in April. He scored 42 Serie A goals as the player. But very, very good, you know, good at beating opponents, good at physically going around defenders. And he's been absolutely fantastic in Italy. So if he was to come to the Premier League, it'd be good to see how he would participate in the Premier League. But it's also mentioned that Barcelona have also been interested in Paulo Dybala from Juventus as well. And it did say, you know, if he is actually to leave, you know, Juventus, Man United and Ed Woodward are planning to put a staggering £155 million for the player. That would be a club record fee, basically, because obviously our most expensive signing is Paul Pogba in the Manchester United team. But Paul Dybala would be fantastic. Like I said, with him, you can play him as attacking mid. You can play him up front as well. I think he'd look, you know, he'd complement Lukaku, as I said. I think he'd complement Martial, Rashford. He'd look good, you know, playing, you know, with them and alongside them. But Paul Dybala and Griezmann are two fantastic players, as I said. You know, he risen up the ranks with Instituto. Did Paulo Dybala, you know, he went to Palmeiras in 2012, was it? He was there quite a few years. Performed fantastically well there as well. And, you know, since he's at Juventus now, he's done fantastically well. In his first season, won the league and the cup double with Juventus as well. Did Paulo Dybala, but reportedly he says he's confirmed he's been in regular contact with Paul Pogba as well. So that could be beneficial for us as well, because obviously Paul Pogba has a strong friendship with Griezmann because they play together for France. And also, you know, Paulo Dybala and Paul Pogba are close as well, because obviously they've been in contact and used to play together at Juventus when Pogba was at Juventus. So that's been leaked in the press today as well, if you did hear about that news. So basically, as I said, it did say the other day also in the press that Man United are actually willing to put £136 million in for Griezmann and Gareth Bale. And it did say in the press the other day this is what Ed Woodward were actually planning in the current process, £136 million. And as I said about Gareth Bale, it did say Real Madrid, you know, the Real Madrid board have been under pressure to get, you know, rid of Gareth Bale, you know, due to his injury prone. He's known for injuries, and his recent injury this season, is it a calf injury? He's been out since September, and he's missed Real Madrid's last 40 out of 60 games due to injury. As Gareth Bale, Man United could still potentially make a third attempt for him, you know, but what may concern Mourinho, you know, Bale has got a record of injuries as well. And this season, La Liga, he's made 5 appearances and scored 2 goals as Gareth Bale, you know, in the current process. But he's highly experienced, got good physical attributes, good at putting balls into the box as well. Is Gareth Bale, as we all know. He's got fantastic physical attributes. You know, this is 5th season now in the process of Real Madrid. And he did say if Real Madrid are actually willing to offload him, they may recommend that they want around about the £85 million mark, you know. What he said is Florentino Perez looking to, you know, recoup the funds that they basically paid for him from Tottenham, which was £85 million back in 2013 as well for Gareth Bale. He's still under contract, don't forget, until 2022 with Madrid. Man United were heavily into him during August. You know, we were even preparing to put £100 million in for Gareth Bale. We never got a deal of line because I think the player did suggest he was happy in Spain, as we all know. But as I said, he's won 10 honours with Real Madrid, 3 Champions Leagues in 4 seasons with Real Madrid. And, you know, Premier League proven with Tottenham made 146 appearances, scored 42 goals, and he'd risen up the ranks fantastically well with Southampton at Gareth Bale. But yeah, could still potentially happen. But we definitely need a creative winner, you know, a player that can put balls into the box, as we're all aware of. And Jose Mourinho's looked at a few, you know, as main priority target during August, you know, was Ivan Perisic. We never got a deal over the line for Ivan Perisic because, you know, we wasn't willing to pay the £48 million that Inter Milan were demanding, because we didn't feel as though he was worth £48 million, even though he is a very, very good highly experienced player as well. Is Ivan Perisic. But also, you know, it confirmed the other week that Jose Mourinho were interested in Emil Forsberg as well from RB Leipzig. He looks another good player. And it did confirm, you know, during the international break that Jose Mourinho had closely been monitoring the player closely. And it did say Mourinho had been monitoring, and he did say Mourinho watched him during international break, you know, Sweden against Italy. You know, Jose Mourinho had watched Emil Forsberg in action. And he's got a deal, I think, with RB Leipzig until 2022 as well. He also shares the same agent as Victor Lindelof as well. But highly experienced player in Germany, as I said, shares the same agent as Victor Lindelof, ex-Malmo player as well. But Emil Forsberg did confirm he's still highly focused on RB Leipzig, even though Man United have showed an interest in him because he's a fantastic winner, good physical attributes again, very skillful, very good to watch. And he's been voted Swedish Midfielder of the Year in 2014 and 2016, so very, very good for Sweden as well. But I don't think RB Leipzig are willing to actually, you know, offload the player, basically, you know, due to that, you know, they've already lost Naby Keita to Liverpool next summer, as we all know. But I don't think RB Leipzig are willing to offload him. And he's one of their key players last season. I got them to second place. You know, got them to Champions League football for the first time in their history, the club's RB Leipzig's history. And, you know, yeah, but very, very good. And Mourinho's also showed an interest in him. So he's another winger that Mourinho's been interested in as well. But also, we know Mesut Ozil, as I do keep updating you, you know, on the Mesut Ozil situation, guys, from Arsenal. As it did say, you know, it leaked in the press, the other day, that reportedly it did say, you know, well, yesterday it did say reports were actually stemming from the Spanish press that Barcelona had agreed a deal to actually sign Mesut Ozil in January, because it did say Arsenal are willing to offload him in January for £20 million. So basically, Arsenal try to find a buyer. He's coming to an end of his contract, his Mesut Ozil, but it did basically say that reports were stemming from Spain that basically Barcelona had agreed a deal to sign Ozil. It did confirm Ozil's agent has been in discussions with Barcelona, and it also said he has been given permission to leave in January. And it also said the Arsenal director, though, has currently closed the deal over this potential Ozil to Barcelona. He's closed the deal, and he said that he's closed the deal, and it says it could be in doubt Barcelona's pursuit of Ozil after reportedly he has stalled the move as the Arsenal director. But as I said, you know, it's not Barcelona's main priority target. You know, I think Coutinho's still, you know, Barcelona's main priority target, as we all know. That's Barcelona's main priority target. But I think, you know, Barcelona, you know, have got quite a few alternatives on their agenda, as we all know. You know, if they do fail to get the pursuit of Philippe Coutinho as well. But as I'm saying, you know, about Ozil can create chances, can provide assists, and this is what Mourinho had won him for. Jose Mourinho says he's also a very, very good number 10, especially, you know, because he'd fulfill, you know, Mkhitaryan's spot fantastically well, as you know, Griezmann as well. But Man United have still been, you know, heavily linked with Mesut Ozil from Arsenal. He did still say the other week, though, he was still fully focused on Arsenal. If he was to sign a new deal, he reportedly was demanding to wear Jack Wilshere's number 10 shirt as well, was Mesut Ozil. We know in the current process he was down there wear Jack Wilshere's number 10 shirt, but he has confirmed that the contract talks have currently stalled, as we all know. He's also been demanding you know, a higher wage increase of Mars. He's been demanding over 300,000 as Mesut Ozil. You know, he's got experience of being in Spain, you know, works fantastically well with Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid. And, you know, he's got experience of being in Germany because he was in the Bundesliga for 5 years and he risen up the ranks with Schalke. And since he's been at Arsenal, we know he's made over a century appearances with Arsenal. This is his 5th season of process, won back 3 FA Cups 4 seasons. You know, Arsenal paid about just over £42 million for him from Madrid. You know, highest paid fee for the German player. But I think Ozil would fit in the Manchester United agenda very, very well. And he did report to tell teammates 4 or 5 weeks ago, is it now, that he did want to join Manchester United. But Arsene Wenger had come out and actually said regarding Ozil and Sanchez the other day that he thinks Ozil and Sanchez want to stay, but he did say regarding Ozil especially, you know, that Ozil could leave in January. So basically, Arsene Wenger admitted this as well in the current process. But I'd love Ozil, you know, he'd be a fantastic player if he was to come to Manchester United. And also, you know, what else would I going to update you on? And we know Barcelona, in my opinion, you know, their main priority target is Philippe Coutinho. I still think Barcelona are going to re-show their interest in Coutinho. And it did say, you know, back in August, Barcelona put 3 bids in. Liverpool had turned this down because Liverpool didn't want to lose the most, you know, creative, you know, clinical midfielder. Because, you know, since he's been in Liverpool, he's become one of the most, you know, best midfielders, you know, in world football out there, especially. He's become one of the most creative, you know, midfielders, especially, you know, out there, you know, since he's been in Liverpool. It's his 5th season process of Liverpool. He's had experience of being in Italy. He's had experience of being in Spain as well, with Espanyol, as well as Philippe Coutinho. But he did say during the August window, Coutinho, that he did want to make the move to Barcelona. Barcelona were in talks to Liverpool. Liverpool owners, Liverpool board were not willing to accept any bids from Barcelona. And Coutinho's representatives, and it did actually get confirmed basically that Barcelona are willing to put a fresh bid in of 106 million in January. But I think Coutinho's representatives and Liverpool value the player around 130 odd million pound in the current process, 130 odd million pound in the process that Liverpool rate Coutinho at. But Coutinho hasn't been his best this season, you know, due to injury. You know, he missed the first part as well. He's only recently been injured as well. Missed the first 4 or 5 games of the season. And Coutinho, don't forget, still under contract with Liverpool until 2022. As we all know. But recently, as he suggested out, he's still happy with Liverpool at the moment. It's Philippe Coutinho because he's playing attacking mid, he can play on the left. And we also know Neymar probably want to see him at Paris Saint-Germain because, you know, if he does leave Liverpool, Neymar would want to see him at Paris Saint-Germain, obviously because they have a fantastic friendship, you know, because they both played together for Brazil. But Luis Suarez, I think, wants to see Coutinho at Barcelona because he'd elevate to a high level, playing amongst better players, challenge trophies. He's not going to be doing this at Liverpool Football Club. It's Philippe Coutinho, so I still think Barcelona will re-go for him in January. But in case, they have got alternatives if they fail with the pursuit of Coutinho. And Ozil's one of them, Griezmann's on their agenda, Barcelona's. They've still got that interest in Paulo Dybala. So Barcelona have got quite a few players as alternatives if they fail, you know, with the pursuit of Philippe Coutinho. But as I'm mentioning out to you guys, this is mainly, you know, about Moussa Dembele. It did confirm Man United had reportedly been in talks, as I said, you know, just before this, you know, before last summer, you know, just before the window ended. Man United in talks of potentially making a move. It did say a couple of weeks ago in the press that Moussa Dembele and Kieran Turner could cost up to £50 million, but I said, you know, Celtic will not be willing to do any business by offloading, you know, Kieran Turner and Moussa Dembele. But Moussa Dembele would be fantastic, Paul Dybala would be fantastic for Juventus, Griezmann would be fantastic. We've got so many players now on our agenda, and Jose Mourinho's looking to strengthen up. As I said, with Paul Dybala, as I said, you know, are Juventus willing to offload him? Because we also know basically that Juventus are heavily linked with Emre Can, and, you know, Emre Can's, you know, classified Juventus' interest as a nonna, basically, you know. And Emre Can, you know, still hasn't signed a new Liverpool deal yet. He comes to an end of his deal next summer. Well, yeah, in the summer, he comes to an end of his deal. I think Emre Can's representatives and Emre Can have confirmed, basically, that and I think Emre Can, if he is to sign a new deal, he wants a release clause. And he's also demanding a higher wage as well if he is to sign a new deal. Reportedly said the other week, if Liverpool, he was demanding £150,000 a week, and reportedly if Liverpool were willing to meet that, then I think he were considering then securing a new deal with Liverpool Football Club, Emre Can. But Juventus have been heavily linked with him. He said Manchester City, it mentioned City had been interested in him as well, Emre Can. But Emre Can's versatility is very, very good. He can play as defensive mid, you know, can play as a fullback, can play as a centre-back, very, very good for Germany as well. And since he's been at Liverpool, he's made over a century of appearances as Emre Cham, he's made over century appearances since he's been in Liverpool Football Club. He's got experience of being in Germany with Bayern Munich, where he's risen up the ranks fantastically well with Bayern Munich, as we all know. Let's be honest, he's risen up the ranks fantastically well with them, playing most in the reserve team. Then went to Leverkusen, and Liverpool paid nearly £10 million for him as well. He's made a big impact since he's been at Anfield, as we all know, as Emre Can. And also, it did confirm Juventus have been in talks. Juventus have approached Emre Can's representatives basically over making a potential move. I don't know if they've got any intention of going for him in January, but then Juventus may wait to see if he sees out his deal, then maybe get him on a free transfer next summer. So Liverpool could still potentially lose Emre Can as well, but that is a Juventus target as well. So basically, that's about it, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe to my channel, as always, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care.